What's up, guys? Jennifer Brave here. Today we're going to be talking about Enneagram Type 2. How can you tell if you are an Enneagram Type 2? You might be an Enneagram Type 2 if you like to be really involved in people's lives. If you're the sort of person that likes to stay in touch frequently, and if you want to know how everybody's doing, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. You might be an Enneagram Type 2 if you're a really friendly person, an accepting person. If you're the sort of person that can love anybody just as they are, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. You might be an Enneagram Type 2 if you've only got two types of people in your life: strangers and then people that you know really well. In other words, you don't have acquaintances. You might be an Enneagram Type 2 if you like to know people well. In other words, when you meet people, if you're the sort of person that immediately bypasses the sports, politics, weather, etc., and you immediately jump into where were you born, are you married, do you have any kids, where do you work, that's interesting, how long have you been doing that, how long have you guys been together, oh, it's your anniversary next month, congratulations, are you guys going to do anything special to celebrate it? If you're that person, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If you feel comfortable in a crowd, and not necessarily because you're extroverted, but because you're a people person, and you like being around a lot of people, you can start mingling right away, you don't feel nervous meeting somebody, introducing yourself, you're not intimidated if you are introduced to a lot of different people, because you're really good at connecting with people and you love to connect with people. You might be an Enneagram Type 2. Honesty time. You might be an Enneagram Type 2 if you have codependency issues, if you are addicted to being a savior, if you need to be needed, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If you cannot stand to see somebody in pain or suffering or going through a hard time, if you feel that pain that they feel, like it just rips your heart out, you can't watch somebody suffer, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If you're the sort of person that's really good at anticipating people's needs or what they want, and you love to meet those needs and to give them what they want, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If you're the sort of person that buys gifts for people and you put a lot of thought into it, like you don't want to just buy something that they said they wanted, you want to give a very personalized, thoughtful gift because you want this person to know that you were really thinking about them. If you're the sort of person that gives gifts and they're the sort of things that people didn't know they wanted until you gave it to them, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. You might be an Enneagram Type 2 if you volunteer for things or offer help or do things for other people, do what you're asked, do favors, etc., and you don't really ever come back to get credit for it. You don't expect a thank you. However, honesty time again, if secretly, maybe just a little bit, kind of underneath of all of that, you do have a little resentment sometimes because you do so much for other people and because you sacrifice so much for other people and they don't recognize it, they don't appreciate it, they don't say thank you. If you feel like you're often taken advantage of, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If you are constantly serving other people, helping other people, giving to other people, and you spend so much time doing that you neglect your own needs and your own wants. If you sacrifice things that you need to do to take care of yourself, or if you just give up something that you really want because somebody else has a different preference and you put that preference first, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. Honesty time number 3. If it bothers you, if someone doesn't like you, if it's a little anxiety producing to know that there's somebody that just has a problem with you or just in general doesn't find you to be an interesting person or someone worth knowing, and perhaps you go out of your way to win this person over, perhaps you give them a little bit more attention, perhaps you dote on them a little bit more than you would other people because you want everybody to like you. If that's you, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If you love hosting parties, opening up your home to people, if your motto is the more the merrier, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. You might be an Enneagram Type 2 if you feel like people underestimate you. If you feel like people often treat you as if you are somebody that's easy to take advantage of, if you feel like people view you as kind of this weak, needy person, but really underneath of all of that, you know that you have got a sense of inner strength and grit, and underneath of all that, you know really that you're a badass. You might be an Enneagram Type 2. You might be an Enneagram Type 2 if expressing your love and affection for other people comes very naturally to you. If you aren't shy about that, if you can be open about your feelings. If people come to you when they're going through a hard time, typically an emotionally hard time, it's because they want someone to talk to, or somebody that's got a good listening ear, or someone that they know is going to be very comforting and loving and encouraging, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If seeing someone else happy, really happy, if that is just why you live, and if you can play a role in making other people happy, if that's what gives you a sense of fulfillment, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If you're the sort of person that can let loose and have fun, but at the same time, you're also kind of serious too. You have that serious side, and you're very concerned about maintaining excellent character and doing the right thing and being a moral person, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If you are very complimentary, in other words, if you're the person that is always complimenting people everywhere you go, it's, oh, I love that dress. Where did you get that? You should wear that sweater more often. It brings out the gold flecks in your eyes. Oh, you are so funny. I'm so glad you came. I could listen to your stories all day. You always make me laugh. If you frequently flatter, if you're always looking for the good in other people and then commenting on it, if compliments are a staple in your communication style, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. Honesty time number 4. And think about this one, because this is one that is true for most 2s, but they're usually not immediately aware of it. If you have this subconscious expectation that other people should be caring for you and should be anticipating your needs and your wants the way that you do for them, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If you don't get that care, that attention, that thoughtfulness from other people that you think you deserve because you give it to them, and you feel kind of bitter about that, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. You might be an Enneagram Type 2 if you don't like alone time. If having a lot of alone time, so for example, if being in an empty house all day makes you uncomfortable or anxious, because really that's what it is, you could be an Enneagram Type 2. If you are an intimacy junkie, if you want to have your person, if you are a hopeless romantic, if you want to have someone that you can be very physically and emotionally intimate and close to and really tight-knit with, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. If you can be flirtatious and you know how to kind of turn on that innocent / just a little sexy / just a little playful charm, and if you know how to use that to manipulate social situations when you need to, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. You might be an Enneagram Type 2 if you're torn between telling someone how to live their life, or, as you see it, giving them helpful advice because you love them and you want things to be better for them, and you see ways that they could make things better, and so you're just offering that because you're trying to help. If you're torn between that and not saying anything because you don't want to offend them, or you don't want to encroach on their sense of independence, and you don't want them to feel like you're trying to control them, if you're torn between that, you might be an Enneagram Type 2. So those are just a few ways to tell that you might be an Enneagram Type 2.